All right, welcome back, everyone. For this month's briefing, we are diving deep into some massive shifts happening right now in the world of Asian trail running. There is a ton to cover, so let's just get right into it. And to really get a handle on what we're talking about, just look at this quote from our source, GASEA Trail. Seismic shifts? That's not just a buzzword. That really is the theme for everything we're about to unpack. A fundamental reshaping of the entire sport. So first up, let's look at the top. There's an intense power play going on. We're talking about a real battle for dominance between the big international race series trying to make their mark across Asia. This past October really gave us this incredible contrast, a tale of two completely different fortunes. On one side, you've got the UTMB World Series, making this huge, successful push into the massive Indonesian market. But at the exact same time, its main rival, the Asia Trailmaster Series, was hit with a total catastrophe. Their season finale in Vietnam, canceled, thanks to Typhoon Bulaoy. Just gone. So you'd think, okay, game over, right? The global giant moves in, the local series stumbles, UTMB's got a clear path to victory. Well, not so fast. It's not quite that simple. Because here's the twist. Just as UTMB seems like it's about to take over, a bombshell drops. Ultra Trail Ninghai, which is a huge and super influential race in China, just announced it's leaving the UTMB World Series. And look, this is a huge deal. It's a clear signal that powerful local races are pushing back against that one-size-fits-all global model, which makes UTMB's strategy in Asia way more complicated. And that kind of pushback makes perfect sense, especially when you look over at Japan. While these international giants are busy duking it out, Japan's own domestic racing scene is just absolutely thriving. It's proof that you don't need a global brand name to put on a world-class, hardcore competition. And to get a sense of the level we're talking about, just look at this time. Ryota Nakatani at the LAKE BIWA 100. This race is an absolute monster. We're talking 169 kilometers with over 10,000 meters of climbing. Nakatani didn't just win, he completely dominated, proving he is the undisputed king of one of the planet's toughest 100-milers. And these incredible athletes, they're not just winning on home soil. They are now strategically flying to Asia's most competitive independent races to prove themselves on a bigger stage. Take the winners of Japan's legendary Hasetsune Cup. They immediately went to a big race in China, where the women's champion, Yuri Yoshizumi, snagged a phenomenal second place against a world-class field. It just shows the domestic scene is producing athletes who can compete with anyone, anywhere. Now, what's really interesting is that this competitive fire isn't just on the trails, it's right there on your wrist. A full-on Warring States period has kicked off for GPS watches, and the battle lines are being drawn. You know, it used to feel like a two-horse race, but not anymore. It is a full-on, four-way fight for that spot on your wrist. You've got the big players, Apple and Garmin, of course, but they're being seriously challenged by Coros and Huawei. And each one has a totally different game plan for winning over trail runners like us. And this is where the game has really changed. The fight isn't just about specs anymore. Apple and Garmin, they're all in on building an ecosystem around you. Beautiful AMOLED screens, AI coaching, advanced safety features. But Coros is making a completely different bet. Their counter strategy is all about reliability. They are deliberately sacrificing that flashy screen for one thing, and one thing only: unbelievable, mind-blowing battery life.
And here's the payoff of that strategy, right here in black and white. Just look at these numbers. The Coros Apex 4 gives you a staggering 65 hours of max GPS battery. That's more than double its main Garmin competitor and almost 5 times what the Apple Watch Ultra can do. For anyone running ultras, that's a total game changer.
This whole idea of brand philosophy and identity, it goes way beyond just watches. We're seeing it play out in what runners are actually wearing on the trails. Brands are no longer just selling you a product, they're selling you an entire identity. The apparel market is really splitting into two totally different camps. On one side, you have brands like Goldwyn pushing these hyper-functional, super technical materials with a price tag to match. Then, on the other, you've got these lifestyle collaborations, like Tigora teaming up with the Keith Haring estate, which is all about fun, iconic design, and making it accessible to everyone. And this trend is even more obvious when you look at shoes. So on one side, you have a brand like Salomon, They're taking their hardcore performance shoes like the Ultraglide 3 and partnering with design studios to turn them into these clean, minimalist fashion items. The message here is clear. Your trail shoe isn't just for the mountains anymore. It's an urban statement piece. And then, on the complete other side of the spectrum, you have Hoka. They are tying their shoes directly to the incredibly deep and respected culture of Japanese Ikaden racing, those hugely popular long-distance relays. This collection uses specific colors and designs to connect you, the runner, to that tradition. So it's not about fashion, it's about being part of a running legacy. So when you take a step back and look at the whole picture, from the races we run, to the watches on our wrists, to the shoes on our feet, it's pretty clear. The entire landscape is fracturing and reforming right before our eyes. The old, simple categories are breaking down, and new battlegrounds are popping up everywhere. And that really leaves us with the big question. With global giants clashing with local heroes, and these tech ecosystems battling cultural identities for our loyalty, what will all these power shifts actually mean for us, the everyday runner out on the trail? That's something to think about. Okay, that's all for this month's briefing.